Hey everyone, Pete Gallia here. Thanks for checking out this week's video. And as you can see, this week I am back in my studio in Malta, very briefly. I'm going to be teaching some kids workshops throughout the week, so I thought why not take the opportunity and film once again in this room. I don't get the opportunity to do that very often. So the topic of this week's video is 2 ways to apply the Rumba Clave to the Asalato. Now before we dive into all of the technical stuff and get shaking and twisting and clicking and all of that, let's briefly talk about clave. What is clave? Now, I'm by no means an expert on this, but I'm pretty sure I can help you get the basics of this down. So in certain kinds of music, particularly different world music, think Latin music, Afro-Cuban, clave, which literally translated means key, is the rhythmic backbone of the music that pretty much everyone in the band follows. Now there are different types of clave, different orientations also. They can be one way or another, but today we're going to be focusing on one specific one, which is the 3-2 Rumba Clave. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is listen to the clave on its own. I'm going to tap it on my sticks here, and you can check it out now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So as you could hear, it's a 2-bar phrase with 3 notes in the first bar and 2 notes in the second, hence 3-2 Rumba Clave. Now it's counted in cut time, so rather than counting 1 iana, 2 iana, 3 iana, 4 iana, we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just to get you oriented with where all the notes are, in the first bar we've got a note on the 1, on the 2 and the 4 and. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And in the second bar, which is a little bit simpler, is just 2 notes, 1 on the 2 and 1 on the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them together and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we know what clave we're working with today. So the aim of today's video is to show you 2 ways in which you can apply this clave rhythm to your Asalato shaker playing. So let's dive in. So the first way I'm going to show you is actually what was interspersed in the intro between all of the twisty, turny and clicky bits. Now this is a little bit simpler and you might get this a little bit quicker, but funnily enough I find myself messing this one up just as often as the other one, so I think they both require a fair amount of practice. So let's get started. So for this first pattern you're going to be shaking not in unison, but rather alternating the shakes with your hands like this. Now what this will allow you to do is play a click either on the top with your leading hand or on the bottom with your leading hand. So anything you play coming down will be on the down beats and anything up will be on the up beats. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So if we were to shake 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that would be the first step, to practice those 2 little movements to give you clicks on the downbeats or the upbeats. And if you mix them together, the 3-2 Rumba Clave is a note on the 1, which is of course the downbeat, the 2 and an upbeat, 4 and upbeat, and then the 2 and the 3, which are downbeats. So you would end up playing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, the cool thing I like about playing rhythms in this way is that you're actually not letting go of the shaker balls at any point. So once they're in your hand, you have the opportunity to also change the pitch and the tone of them, which is something pretty cool about this instrument. or shakers in general, I suppose. So if you squeeze your hands, you're going to close the tone a little bit and change the pitch. Let me just show you that right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a lot of fun to do. So if you mix those two together, you can just have some fun and go. So that's the first way I wanted to present to you that you can play this rhythm on this awesome instrument here. But now we're gonna get into the real fun stuff, which is playing the other rhythm I showed you in the intro. And let's dive into that right now. So first and foremost, it's important to note that the two hands are playing two distinct patterns. And they essentially both play beat 1 of the first bar, but then they kind of take turns to play the notes in between, and they share those. So I'm going to show you the pattern I mean right now once again. Okay, and we're going to deal with one hand at a time, so let's start with the right hand. So the right hand is going to be playing beat 1 of the first bar, the 4 and of the first bar, and the 2 of the second bar. Right? Notes? Yes, I'm right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So of course, it makes sense if we've already got some basics down with the Asalato, and I'll be referencing those now to kind of show you the structure of this movement. So let's begin. So the first thing you do, of course, is starting from here, we're going to click on the top for beat 1, and you're going to helicopter it around until you can hit the 4 and at the bottom. So that will be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So you click on the top, heli twice, and then click on the bottom. Now from there comes the little bit more challenging part, and we're going to be using a move called the air turn. Now what happens when you play an air turn is the bottom shaker comes out. It's going to travel around here, but when it clicks on the top, this ball will replace the one that's in your hand. And you catch it with your index finger, let that one shoot out from the back, and as it's turning around, you're going to switch to hold it with the other fingers. So turn laterally like that, come back in between these fingers again, and then hit once more over there. Okay, now in this case, after you do the air turn, don't let it hit the top ball again. You need to spin it around once again so that you can hit the next note on beat 1 again. Okay, so let's check this out one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Air turn, twist. Turn, twist. So you can see after the air turn, I'm letting it twist a couple more times around this way before it hits the top again for beat 1, and the pattern starts all over again. Now, due to the tempo limitations of the Asalato, you actually can't practice it too slowly, unfortunately, because it works with, of course, centrifugal force. And if you slow down too much, it's just going to have too much slack and not work. So I'm going to play that again for you now, and you can see it a little bit more slowly. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the last thing I suggest before we check out the left side also is that you sing the Rumba Clave while you play each individual side. Now, of course, you can practice each individual side flipped, so the right hand part on the left hand and the other way around, etc. But once again, to keep things streamlined, I'm just going to keep things on one side, and then it's up to you how deep you want to go with it. So let's try singing the clave while playing the right hand pattern. Here we go. Happy days, we've got the right hand part, so now we're gonna also address the left hand part. Okay, now the left hand part is slightly simpler, but it still uses an air turn, so definitely check out that trick before you do this, in case you haven't already. So let me play you the left hand part now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the case of the left hand, as we mentioned before, it's going to hit beat 1 along with the right hand on the way up. Now you're just going to click on the bottom on the way down to get the 2 and, like that. So you're going to get 1, 2, 1 and 2 and, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Following this, you'll keep shaking until you let go of the bottom ball on beat 2 to click on the 3. And that's where your air turn is gonna happen on this side, like that. And that's the full pattern. So let's check it out as a whole. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And once again, I'll sing the clave while doing it, so you can see which notes the left hand is actually outlining. So. So that's the left hand part. Now I'll play it once more and you can check it out a little bit more in slow-mo. Okay, so we've looked at the right hand pattern and also the left hand pattern. So when we put them together once more, this is what we get. So just a quick recap, we checked out the alternating shake and being able to play downbeats in cut time by clicking your dominant hand on the top of the other hand, and the upbeats by doing the opposite. And that means you can outline different rhythms that way. And the other way we looked at was using all the clicks and turns that you might already be practicing with your Asalato and putting them together in combination to create a right hand pattern and a left hand pattern distinctly from one another, and then put together that makes a Rumba Clave. Of course, there's the added option to flip the hands round, you know, and in turn flip your brain upside down with the coordination aspect of it. And it might be a little bit confusing to do that, but it certainly will help your coordination and just give you an extra challenge if you want to go a little bit further with this kind of practice. So I guess for today, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you learned something. If you're interested in more Asalato related content, then let me know in a comment below. What is it that you're trying to play or that you're interested in or you're wanting to learn, or anything extended to rhythm in general. What are you looking to learn more about? What is it that I can deliver that you might be interested in? So I hope to hear from you. Please click like and also subscribe if you want to join my very small but growing community of rhythm nerds here on YouTube. And I hope to see you in next week's video. Have a good week until then, and take care. Cheers. Guess that's it for today then.